Hello footy fans, welcome to a new video on the channel. Thank you so much for choosing to watch this video. I really appreciate it and I do hope you enjoy the video. Today it's a basic one. I'm going to be walking you through my AFL PA 22 under 22 team. So for those that are not aware, last week the full squad was revealed and there's actually a website where you can go and pick your team and then submit it to go into the draw to win some cool prizes. So that's exactly what I'm going to do in this video, walk you through my 22 under 22 team. So let's not muck around, let's get straight into it. So this is the website 22under22.com.au. Head on over there, have a crack at selecting your own team if you fancy, and feel free to comment it down below. We'd love to read the diverse opinions. Just by submitting your team, you can go into the draw to win some cool prizes, as I mentioned. But anyway, let me walk you through my 22 under 22 team. I'll start from the back line, and the first player that I'm going to put into my team is Hayden Young from the Fremantle Dockers. Now, I think he's an underrated player, although he must be rated if he's been picked in this team. But I think he has the potential to be one of the best defenders in the competition in a couple of years' time. That's how high I rate this guy. He's a contested player. He gets a lot of the footy. He's effective with his ball use. Fremantle have one of the best defences in the competition for mine, and he is a big part of that. So he easily goes in this team. That's Hayden Young from the Fremantle Dockers. Fullback. Now, there's only 3 key position defenders in this squad, I think. So Sam De Koning's one of them. Harrison Petty is the other. And who's the other one? Tom McCartan from the Sydney Swans. I think it's fair to say that Sam De Koning is the better of the 3 this year. So he goes in at fullback. That's Sam De Koning from Geelong. He's been terrific in what he's been able to do. He's not an overly big player, but he's good in contested situations. He's ranked elite when it comes to contested and intercept marks. And he's good one-on-one as well. He has proven to do the job in one-on-one situations. I go back to the Dogs game only a few weeks ago. He did a terrific job in defending Aaron Norton. And he'd have to be in the top 3 rising star this season for sure. So he goes in. Let's move to the right back pocket now, and I'm going to put in this position Nick Blakey from the Sydney Swans. I think he's done enough to earn a spot in this team. He averages 466 metres gained. He's so good, not only in contested situations, but he also has the ability to take off and run, carry with the footy, which I think is terrific. He's got a lot of speed about him. And I'll go back to what I just said a moment ago. I think he's good in contested situations. I go back to the Collingwood game yesterday. He took a good mark or two in contested situations, which I thought was terrific. And he also has the ability to create scoring opportunities as well. He's actually ranked elite in score involvements. He can spoil the footy. He's a player that I want to have in my back line. Moving on to the half-back line now. Now, this position was tricky. It came down to 2 players. Coleman was definitely in my thoughts. The other option was Jordan Clark. I've gone with Jordan Clark. Just think he's the better player out of the 2. He has the speed off half-back. He's effective with his ball use. Just like Nick Blakey, he has the dash, the run and carry. He's had a good season at Fremantle in his first season, so I'm happy to have him in my team. At halfback, it comes down to Harrison Petty or Tom McCartan. I think McCartan's played more games than Petty. I'm going to go with Tom McCartan, though. I think Tom is a good interceptive defender. He's a good contested player as well. He applies good defensive pressure. And I think he's been the better player out of... So if I had to pick between Petty and McCartan, it would be McCartan on this year alone. So I'm comfortable with picking Tom McCartan. And then to round out the back line, well, it has to be Nick Dacos, doesn't it? I mean, he just picks himself. He's going to win the Rising Star by far. he's a shoo-in, and if he doesn't win the Rising Star, I'll faint. Like, literally, I will faint. Moving on to the midfield now, which is always an interesting task. I'm going to start with the wingmen. So, there are 4 choices presented. So, Adam Terra, James Jordan, Justin McInerney, and Noah Anderson. I think I can rule out Justin McInerney because, he's a good player, but I don't think he's had as good of a season as the other 3 wingmen. James Jordan's been good, but I don't think he's been as good as Terra and Anderson. So, there you go. That's my 2 wingmen for this team, Adam Terra and Noah Anderson. I think Noah Anderson is the best of the 4, though. He obviously doesn't play wingman at the Gold Coast Suns. He plays midfield time, gets a lot of the footy. He averages, I think, 25 disposals a game. He can gain meters as well. So I'm comfortable with him being in my team as the best wingman choice out of the 4 options presented. And then the other wingman in my team is Adam Terra. Now, I don't think Adam Terra has had that good of a season. In fact, I don't think he would be in my top 5 recruits of the season. I don't think he's lived up to what Carlton gave up to get him, but I still think he's had a better season than Jordan and McInerney. He averages 23 disposals a game. He's going at 73% disposal efficiency. So, comfortable with him being in my team. That's Adam Terra from Carlton, Noah Anderson from the Gold Coast Suns on the other side. So now we move on to the 4 starting mids. I'll start with the ruckman. Easy choice. It's out of Luke Jackson and Noah Bolter. Every day of the week, you're going to choose Luke Jackson. If you're picking Noah Bolter, then I would probably have a good, hard think about whether you should follow AFL any further because, Noah Bolter is clearly not as good as Luke Jackson. So, now that leaves me with the 3 midfield options. The first player I'm going to put into my team put into the midfield, I should say, is Andrew Brayshaw from Fremantle. He has to go in the team. He's a Brownlow medal contender. He averages about 29 to 30 disposals a game. He tackles, he pressures. That's also the thing about him. He not only gets the footy, but he also applies pressure, tackles. I think he's a tackling machine, I think. So he has to go in the starting midfield. I'm going to put Chad Warner goes in for sure. He's been outstanding in what he's been able to do at the Sydney Swans this year. He averages, I think he averages about 500 or so meters gained. Averages about 7 score involvements a game. Outstanding midfielder. A lot of people talking him up as a future Brownlow medalist. I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see. That's a big rap, but he no doubt is one of the many elite midfielders in this squad. So he has to go in. And the other midfielder that I'm going to put into the starting team is Sam Walsh from Carlton. Averages about 30 disposals a game. He's effective with his ball use. He puts his body on the line as well. I go back to that GWS game only a few weeks ago. He went off injured and then he came back on, clearly hurt, but saw out the game and had an influential game and led Carlton to the win. So he has to go in the starting team. Now we move on to the forward line, which is a tough task because there's not only some good forward options, but there's also mid forwards that can go into the starting forward line. I'll start from the left half forward flank. I'm going to put in my team from Melbourne, Keziah Pickett. 34 goals this season. I think that's a pretty good effort from a small forward. He has the pace. He has the dash off the half forward line. He's dangerous. We've seen that time and time again. Happy to have him in my team. At centre half forward, well, there's only 2 key forward options, Aaron Norton and Max King, so they both go in, and Aaron Norton goes in at centre half forward. 48 goals. He's 6 on the Coleman Medal leaderboard as I record this right now. He's a bit of a freak of a player, to be honest, because he not only provides a contest, he not only goes for the footy at every cost in the air, but he also has pace. He has the work rate to chase down players as well. And you'll often see him, if he doesn't, do well in the contest, he'll chase and run and try and tackle his opponent, which is another aspect of Aaron Norton that I love. Of course, he's a Western Bulldog player, so of course I love him. And then on the other half-forward flank, I'm going to put in from the Gold Coast Suns, Isaac Rankin. 29 goals this season. He's dangerous. I think he's had a good enough season to be in the team. Now we move on to the pockets and the full forward. I'll start with the full forward. Clearly, Max King goes in because he's the only other key position forward option in this squad. So that leaves me with the pockets. This might be biased, but I'm going to put in Cody Waitman on the left forward pocket. Dangerous player, has work rate. He's kicked 34 goals this season. Has to go in for mine. And so too Jack Ginnivan, who's, again, similar player to Cody Waitman. Dangerous. He's kicked 33 goals this season. He won an Anzac medal in the Anzac Day clash against Essendon. He's had a great season. So that leaves me with the interchange and then the captain and the vice-captain. I'll start with the interchange. I'm going to put on the interchange a player that probably could be in the starting team if he hadn't have missed that period of football that he missed midway through the season, and that's Bailey Smith. He's only played the 15 games, but I think he's done enough to earn a place in this team, and you might think this is a biased opinion, but if it was really a biased opinion, I'd have him in the starting team, but because he missed that period of footy, has to go on the interchange. But his stats speak for him for itself, really. He's averaging 30 disposals a game. He's got the speed, he's got the work rate, he's got the dash that you would want in your midfield, I think. So, and he can kick goals as well. He's a forward option. He can float forward, kick goals. Probably hasn't kicked enough goals this season to probably warrant that argument, but he has done it in the past. The other player that I'm going to put on my interchange from Port Adelaide is, where is he? Connor Rozee. Outstanding player. Kane Corns has a big rap on this player, and I think it's a valid opinion. Outstanding player. Another player that I want to have in my team is Caleb Sarong. I don't think there's been a lot of people actually putting Caleb Sarong in their under 22 team, but I think with him and Brayshaw in the Fremantle team, it's done a lot of wonders for the Dockers and where they're at and where they are going to finish, and the fact that they're going to play finals this season. I think that sort of duo works very well, and I mean, he averages 25 disposals a game. He's a clearance player. He pressures. Have to have him in my team. So he goes on the bench. And then the option for the last player. So it pretty much comes down to, for me, it comes down to Jai Newcomb. You can make a case for Errol Gordon. And the other player is Nick Martin, but this might be an unpopular opinion. I think he does finish top 5 in the Rising Star, but I don't think he's had that good of a season. In fact, I argue that maybe Rayner, Gordon, definitely Newcomb have had better seasons than Martin, although there's a lot of potential about Nick Martin, which is what is exciting moving forward. But I think Jai Newcomb has to go into that last spot. Tackling machine, gets a lot of the footy, disposal getter. Yeah, I have to have him rounding out the team. So that is my 22 under 22 team. I hope I've justified the selections as best as I can. Let's go through the leadership positions now. So I'll start with the captaincy. I'm going to go with Andrew Brayshaw. A lot of leadership traits about Andrew Brayshaw. And then the vice-captain has to go to Nick Dacos. Has to. So there you go. That's my 2022 AFL 22 under 22 team. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And of course, if you do have diverse opinions, would love to hear them. That's the beauty about this sort of thing, is everyone has a different opinion. But thanks so much for watching this video. Pretty basic. Do hope you enjoyed it though. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below, and don't forget to press that subscribe button. I'm thinking about doing a video on my All-Australian team next week. So if you want to see that, let me know. But until the next video, take care. Bye for now.